Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee on this Monday. And I thought we'd look at the overnight weather guidance here and take a look at what it did because it looks like this blocking pattern is really evolving into something with some potential down the road. And there are going to be, I think, three threats along the way, possibly more, but we'll see. The first one is going to be coming on Thursday night into Friday. Now, this I think is going to be the weakest of the bunch. The GFS is the most robust with it. The European has next to nothing with this at all. The track on each model run for the last few days has been further south, further south. So now we've got a low moving across along the Pennsylvania-Maryland border that moves straight east with an area of snow. But again, the GFS may be overdone here as the other models. The European model is very weak. You could barely find this. So I'm going to leave it on the table in case the European decides to do something a little more robust on the next run. But they both seem really consistent in their ideas. Then both models are pretty much on board with the idea of low pressure coming across southern Missouri through Kentucky into southern West Virginia or eastern Kentucky, redeveloping along the Virginia-North Carolina coast and moving out to the northeast from there, producing accumulating snows actually as far south as the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area on up to just north of New York City into the Hudson Valley. The model trends here have been for the GFS, it has maintained strength. Excuse me, got to blow my nose. It has maintained strength and moved, shifted a little further south, not by much, but enough, a shift to the south. The European has shifted significantly north from its prior run and has everything not that far off from what the GFS has. So they're both very close. So this is for Saturday night into Sunday, at least Sunday morning, or maybe even into midday Sunday this coming weekend. And then out that goes. And here's where models get a little bit dicey. Now, this was supposed to be on the GFS just a couple of runs ago, a major animal storm in the Western Lakes. Well, now it's turned out to be much weaker as it moves eastward. But the European wants to pile on energy along the coast and make for some sort of coastal low here for early next week. And given the blocking situation, I don't think that's outside of the realm of possibility. You have it right here showing up Tuesday with low pressure in central Virginia, and then that winds up developing into a storm that intensifies and moves basically northward or northeastward just off the coast up through New England and beyond. So this has, the European does actually bring quite a snowstorm to upstate New York and New England out of this, but this is in the day 8, 9, and 10 time frame, so I'm not going to be lend too much credence to this at this point because I want to focus on the first two systems. So very quickly, what we have, we'll go to the upper air because that's where the story here has been told all along. And what we are seeing is the blocking pattern becoming stronger with every run, and that has really changed the look out west as well. We don't have, the models were trying to decide the puzzle of whether there was going to be another deep trough in the west, and here we are now on the European run. This is for Friday evening. Here's your big block up to the north, very well established blocking high. You've got low pressure sitting in Hudson's Bay aloft, the second low out at 50 and 50. This is a, pretty much a signature blocking look, and you wind up with weather systems that move along in the flow, and you get one good little kink basically in the jet stream, and that could be your snow producer. And this is what it's showing, and then you've got this trough that kind of amplifies as it goes out into Monday. Now here comes the one for Tuesday, Wednesday on the European. It has a fairly well-defined shortwave here, so this is why it does develop a rather impressive storm in the east. But notice the difference here out in the west with the ridge in the west, a ridge off the well off along 60 into southeastern Canada with a trough right in between. Stands to reason that there's going to be some problems with this in terms of dealing with potential weather system development. So, we look at the GFS, and again, the same. I'm going to backtrack it here. The biggest change in all this is there's your block. I mean, the models are all in agreement with this. You do have this block and the low out at 50 and 50, but the trough in the west never really goes down like the GFS. It never really deepens down into Southern California like it was doing a few days ago. Instead, now there is a ridge that develops there. So this is a very active, potentially stormy late winter pattern that's developing for the eastern part of the United States. It took virtually all winter to get to this. But you know what? Sometimes that happens. Maybe this is the first real sign of an overall pattern breakdown in the West. I don't know. But it certainly does look like over the next week to 10 days that we're going to have several storm threats along the way to deal with. And we will update you on what the weather models do later today on meteorologistjoechaffee.com. Angry Ben, who is my friend, he is Joe Stradamus's best friend, in fact. He has his take on what he thinks is going to happen with these weather systems, and that's on nycweathernow.com. So you can check out his post there. And if you are looking for specific Long Island weather, you can check that out at weatherlongisland.com. And by the way, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's absolutely free. Helps me with my standing with Google. The more people subscribe, the more people I wind up getting, and Google likes me better, which is really a good thing. And the subscription is absolutely free. I'll never charge for my weather videos ever. Subscriptions are absolutely free. You get notified when new videos go up. And yesterday, you not only got weather videos, you got two videos on how to make good meatballs. So if you haven't seen those, go ahead and take a look. All right, everybody, have a great Monday, and we'll update you on all the weather a little later on.